Hey, what's up, everybody? It literally just took me like an hour to try to get these photos up because my computer is working so slow, and it's probably because they just don't want me talking. But you know what? At this point, after watching what I just watched, I don't really give a shit. Okay, I'm gonna make this quick, and then at the end, I have a website for you to go to because it literally took me like an hour and a half to read this website to understand everything, and there's no way I'm gonna sit here and read word for word everything, so you guys can go check it out for yourself. Let me start with, I'm under the impression that the Stevens family is Jewish. That's where you're gonna go to this website later, and I'll fill you in on all of that. I want you to take a look at this lady. We've already determined that this guy right here is not the same guy that we see in other footage. It's kind of like they have stunt doubles, and at this point, maybe stunt triples. I know there's a lot of accusations going around and different possibilities of what's going on. I just watched a video of Sherry Shriner, and I had already had a lot of things going through my head as far as organ trafficking and prostitution and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure we all have. There's no way in hell that Kanika was the only one to die that night. Not only that, I think at one point in one of my videos I went over this new Caddyshack restaurant that's going to be put into these hotels by Bill Murray and the Murray family, and the email that I had shared prior was that these are going to be killing kitchens. And after watching Sherry Shriner's video, there's no doubt in my mind. There is a couple things at the end that I'm going to ask you to do because I'm completely exhausted, and I'll be back with you tomorrow. I've literally been researching for the past 10 hours. Right here, do we know who she is? Because that is not Kristen Escobar, okay? I know it's kind of blurry. I tried to blow it up. I think I found who she is, except I don't know her name except for a nickname. So that's going to be one thing that we need to start searching for, and when I show you this next profile, that's where I found her picture. So we're going to have to move fast, because once they know we're on to them, they're going to start deleting their shit. So this girl right here, you're going to find on this guy's website, okay? Now, about 9 o'clock this morning, if my friend can find the TripAdvisor comment, I will show you a comment that he was staying in the Rosemont Hotel around that same week and weekend, and he worked there. His old profile is gone. He might have shaved his head, so he could possibly be one of the guys in the gray blazer. I'm not too sure, but he is in California, and if you watch the last Medium video when she talked about California and Los Angeles and all that, he could possibly be our connection. So let's go take a look at Daddy Shady. Okay, does this look like, now I know her boobs look huge right here, but like, does this look like the chick at the front desk? Because I sent this email out to a few people, and I all got back either, yes, that's her, or it sure looks like her. Okay, the name at the bottom here, Spunarella, that's all it says, that's all it's giving me, and like every single one of his friends is Hispanic, and I went through, he has like 4,500 friends. I've probably gone through 3,000 of them, and my eyes are going crossed because they're all beautiful women, and like I can't distinguish the difference between them. So let's go to his website and try to find the rest of these people in this footage, because I'm telling you what, if they flew in for some type of body brokage organ auction bullshit, they're all going to be connected through their friends' pages. And then here's another close-up picture. Okay, I have good news that Zach isn't a lesbian. Okay? The girl with the yellow hat walking in the footage is this Sierra Jackson. I got sent a couple emails, and I'm not going to disclose your name, thank you, but this is who this is. Now, I'm not saying these people have anything to do with it. They could have just been there for the party, and especially after you go to this website later, your mind's going to change a little bit as far as if you think her friends are involved or if they're not. This hotel disgusts me. Okay, so in Sherry Schreiner's video, okay, this guy, now as you can see, this cart is heavy as hell. Down here is what we assumed when he goes through the kitchen was Kanika in a bag. Sherry actually stated that dead people don't bleed. I haven't had time to research that, but basically I'm stating if Kanika was faking that she was dead and they put her in a bag, remember that another medium had stated all of a sudden it got really humid. Maybe it was because she was in the trash bag. Maybe not. Maybe some place by the pool there was a sauna and they needed her to be quiet, so they took her inside of it, because I think once you close those doors, they're soundproof. So as he's pushing this, we have this and then whatever's going on in here. And like she had stated, we see all these boxes and stuff and bags coming out of these restaurants, but we never see any going in. Now that could be because there's a back door, but if there was a back door, why aren't they taking this stuff? When they deliver a truck, I've worked in restaurants my entire life. So when they deliver a truck of food, there's usually a back door or a back dock. Why are they taking trash bags through the hallway? Especially if there's a possibility that it's going to leak blood with residents staying in these hotels, unless the 9th, 10th, and 11th floor is strictly for this sick organ shit and whatever else they do, and they look out for each other to make sure nobody's lost on the floors from someplace else, but they're pretty much guaranteed that everybody they know on these floors are either the victims or are working for them, so it's not really a big deal. That's why they're just so nonchalantly walking around with dead bodies in bags. And I'm really starting to believe this. Okay? I want to figure out who this is. Now, she comes out, I'm pretty sure she comes out of here, which a bunch of them come out of there. And I'm not saying they're not just throwing new footage in here, but I'm telling you what, the people and the pages that I'm going through, you can look over here. There's another manager over here, and in the video, this is a restaurant, okay? He's looking out to see if anybody's coming in these doors back here. And the minute he comes around over here, okay, guy takes another trash bag. And then somebody else comes out here. It's like clockwork. It's like one of the best drug deals ever, because they don't get caught. Like, he's watching here, and then once he passes, they go out, and then when he goes here, this guy comes out here, and then she comes out. I mean, they have this shit down. Except whoever's doing this footage and the way that whatever happened in this situation went, somebody fucked up, because the shit is sloppy. And maybe they just thought we weren't going to pay attention, but we did. So, sucks for them. Okay, and whoever this guy is, we need to find out who he is. After the lady walks by, he comes out right over here. And the guy that we have pictures of that was sitting at the computer at one point, when that manager goes this way and the guy comes out of the restaurant, he goes this way. So I'd really like to know what's over here, because at one point, remember we saw Shamaya and Monifa and a bunch of them go in here, and the girl in the white shirt, and then they came back out. Now, in the footage that I've shown, if it is stunt doubles or trannies, and that's not Monifa and Shamaya and them, they know what's going on. like, whoever went in here in that other footage knows what's going on, and they didn't want to be seen by the cameras switching whatever they were switching. Okay? Now, this is the blood on the floor after he walks through. And we don't have audio, but if you watch this video by Sherry Shriner, when he comes through with the cart and that cart hits this cart, he moves whatever's on this cart backwards, okay? Moves the body in the bag, if that's what it is, and then he goes, and then the blood comes on the floor. Now, without audio, like I said, I've worked in a kitchen, and you're usually, when you work with somebody, you're yelling stuff and you're doing this. And it's seriously, by the way this guy walks up, he doesn't see the blood at first. He looks right here. And I guarantee you that the guy going this way with the cart is saying, hey, dude, I hit that body on that cart. Can you make sure there's no blood on there? And the idiot still walks past the blood on the floor. Okay, like, this disgusts me that, like, they're actually cooking food for customers and people staying in this hotel in these kitchens. I mean, that's like 100 health code violations. So where is the health inspector? And are any of these people surf safe? Because I doubt it. They might be surf safe as far as Jewish sacrifices, but I highly doubt that they have their certifications as far as what they need to do in a restaurant, let alone butchering bodies. Okay? Regardless if I worked in a hotel or not, I have never seen somebody wheel ice on carpet in a hallway. Now, she stated that there could possibly be a body or a head underneath here on ice. I don't know how that works because I've never harvested an organ. So, I could see the towel being over that because they don't want any germs or anything like that from people walking by or this and that flying on it. So, I see that point too. But he looks like he's having, excuse me, a pretty hard time pushing this bag. Or this thing of ice. And, like, they were just getting numerous amounts of ice. Like, yes, you have, 11, 12 floors. So, maybe they're using that to fill the ice machine. That's another thing we can check into. Because I'm pretty sure that the ice machines automatically produce their own ice. So, if that's true, or if somebody ends up going back in this hotel, can somebody check the ice machines and see if it automatically refills? Because if so, where are they taking all this ice? Okay, I tried to get as close as I could to this. I'm going to magnify what's in his hand. And tomorrow when I come back on, like, I honestly don't even want to know what's in his hand. She says it's an arm and a baby's head. Okay? I'm not denying that because these people are disgusting. But I'm trying to figure out who this guy is. So I'm going to magnify that picture. If somebody has a better picture, go ahead and send it to me. And I'll put my email in the comments like I always do. Here's a little bit of a closer picture. Kind of looks like he has glasses on. Like, how do you get into something like this? Like, do you put it on your resume? Like, hey, I like to drink blood and I want to do the most shadiest shit ever? Or, like, how do they advertise for a job like that? Like, I would love to sit and listen to one of these interviews. Like, yeah, I just want to make sure that you're okay with cutting off fingers. And you have to be okay with draining someone's blood while they're still alive. Like, this is horrible. And, I mean, I'm trying to make light of the situation, but this situation is fucking unreal. Okay, and then who carries meat through the fucking hallway? I mean, what would you do if you were a guest in this hotel and you saw this? Like, I wouldn't eat there. Because I'm like, why is this dude carrying meat, which looks to be in, like, a Tupperware container, through the hallway. I want to say it was Beach Beauty, but I'm not too sure, had this photo. And this is the same exact kitchen, okay, where they found that body, where they found Kenneka in the freezer. I thought that, like she stated, I thought they said that this was an unused kitchen. And I'm sorry, like I said, I've done morning prep, I've done cold prep, I've done hot prep, I've done broil, I've done the fry machines, okay? I've opened a restaurant, so I've never seen this many people standing around one table in my entire 22 years of working in a restaurant, okay? Another thing right down here she thinks is a lady. It's kind of hard to see. I'll try to magnify it, and hopefully by tomorrow somebody, like, if that's a lady, it looks like the top's cut off, and, like, right here would be, like, the pelvic area, and they just, like, chopped it in half. That's, I mean, I could just be crazy. Like, you could see something totally different, but I don't know. And then she stated over here that this is a guy standing here with a hose, and she's right. What are they hosing off? She said that right in here, it looks like half of a body. But, like, what could they possibly be doing over here? And I'm sorry, this guy looks way tall, and he's not dressed in anything that anybody else is dressed in. He kind of even looks like he has long hair. So, I don't know if he looks funny because they edited the photo or what, but I'm definitely going to try to clear this picture up and see what I can do with it to see what's going on. But besides that fact, this is the same kitchen that's unused, okay? The same kitchen that's unused that rents out the freezer that had a dead body in it. Which, if we can find out who they're renting that out to, that would be fantastic. That's another thing that popped up in my mind, because that might tell us a lot, because I don't know of many people who would rent out a freezer that had a dead body in it that hasn't even been cleaned from the dead body being in it, from the other photos that people have showed weeks after Kenneka's body was found. That's disgusting. Okay? This is the website that I'm going to have you go to. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a long website, okay? But it is going to tell you everything that I'm telling you. And there's one point in here that I'm going to point out where it states that they put these bodies in trash bags. Okay? They drink their blood. They sacrifice children and torture them. They take baths in blood. Like, the sick shit that these people do, you know what I mean, is beyond anything that we could ever think of. Like, I stopped watching the Saw movies after this because, like, I couldn't even deal with it anymore. Okay, so here's the website. I'm going to let everybody get screenshots. I want you to go to this website, and I want you to read all this, because it's going to fill in a lot of things that I think that we might be missing, and it might add to and give us understanding a little bit more. I know that light's in the way. A little bit more of what is going on in this hotel. There is one point, like halfway through, that states in 1989, Oprah had a show with a Jewish woman who was a child. Get this. The Chicago Tribune covered it, okay? Because I guess, I don't know if Oprah's even still on, but her show used to be in Chicago. She's from Chicago. And it was on this topic. And this lady explains how she was a child and they made her watch this infant sacrifice in Chicago, which is even funnier. Like, come on. All the keys are pointing to some fucked up shit in Chicago. And at some point, I want to go over Cerna and the movie geostorm that I saw, and how these magnetic fields and stuff like that are actually in Chicago. There's a Cerna plant. Even though the original Cerna plant is based in Europe, there's one in Chicago. And I can guarantee you, just like this video that I watched on it states, that the people that are in Chicago probably don't even know that it's there. And that, whether or not it affects the people or not, I have a feeling that it is going to be the reason why they want the UN to come in and start this martial law, because of the shit that's going on. So, pay attention to this website. Go through those pictures. I'm going to get a little bit of sleep, and I will be back with you here later, and we can discuss what you guys think as far as reading all this crazy stuff about the Jews and how they sacrifice Christians and all this other stuff, along with the bodies and the pictures and stuff like that. Definitely go to that Michael Angelo's page and screen his friends and find anybody that you can find that was in that hotel that day. There was one more thing. I'm just trying to think what it was. Oh, if somebody has time, go to Rosemont Crown Plaza website, and I want you to pull up every single restaurant inside that place, and I want you to screenshot every single page of every single menu. Like I said, I write menus. I've worked in kitchens my whole life, and I can damn sure guarantee you that if there's baby brain on the fucking menu, I'm gonna know whether or not it's worded that way or it's a hidden agenda. So go ahead and do that. And I think Sherry Shriner called it the Chicago Chop Shop, but I highly doubt that's what the restaurant's called. Go ahead and do those things while I get some sleep, and then as soon as I get this next video together with you here in probably like 6 hours or so, I'll be back with you at some point. So have a good night.